It's gonna get really hard after like 26.
We're gonna have to start looking up which episode we did the week before. Well, hello boys and girls, and welcome to episode 7, we believe, of Working Wednesday.
We may be wrong.
This week, besides detailing my titanic struggles with trying to get the balance of models that I needed for my Firestorm Armada 1,000-point army, and assembling them despite the frigates missing half of their parts and being all distorted and bent and crappy.
We're just going to preface this whole thing saying that these armies are not the armies we had designed to take at 1,000 points because our models have...
Half our orders didn't show up.
Yeah, and it has been like... Remember the last Firestorm video where I was like, next week we might play Firestorm Armada if our models come?
Yeah, that was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
No, 4 weeks ago.
It was 5 episodes ago.
Yeah, that's great.
So... There it is, kids.
Yeah. So, so basically, we've cobbled together the 1,000-point list that we could, given the models that we had at our disposal.
The random menagerie.
Yeah, and I had some technical difficulties this evening because the crazy glue I had was expired and therefore didn't do anything.
Because it's GW crazy glue, which expires after 6 months.
Yeah.
So, yeah, basically, don't buy
great value.
Don't buy GW crazy glue.
Yeah, or anything else, really.
Yeah, basically. Except for painting table.
Yeah, the painting table's nice, yeah, but like...
That's it.
That's it. Easel. Yeah. That's it.
We're done.
Alright, anyway. So...
Segue.
Anyhow, we've got the terrains... we've got the terrain set up.
We're not high.
No, we're just like this, which is an even more frightening thought. Anyhow, we've got the terrain set up for this week's game of Firestorm Armada, and this week we are playing one of the homebrew scenarios that G previously mentioned on our site. Yeah,
we found it. We found a fan. Well, I found a fan site because I have too much time at work, and basically this guy, don't know who he is, somebody online made 24 or 26 custom scenarios. They're all kind of like, they all have like a little story blurb that goes with them, and then there's like the special rules for that scenario. They're all actually really good. I've read through all 24 or 26 of them. I'm not sure how many there are.
Right, anyway.
They're awesome.
So this week's scenario is called, what's the name of it?
Blockade Run.
Okay, this week's scenario is called Blockade Run. In this scenario, there's an attacker and a defender. So the attacker basically has to nominate 1d3 ships as... important couriers for every 750 points in their army or less. So in this case, at 1,000 points, it would be 2d3. And the attacker basically chooses the board edge they want to come in from. They can choose any board edge. And then the defender has to set up 30 inches away from that board edge, a minimum of 30 inches away from that board edge, and they set up all their ships. The attacker then gets to deploy all of their ships within 6 inches of the table edge they chose. The victory conditions for this scenario are for the attacker to get their courier ships through the blockade and off the opposing table edge. For every ship that they manage to do that successfully with, they get twice its value in point value in victory points. Conversely, however, for every one of their marked special courier ships that is destroyed, the defender gets double their victory point value. Aside from that special rule, all the other victory point rules apply as normal. So you get like victory points for destroying ships.
If you shunt the ship, it's half.
Yeah, half for ships that shunt away. The attacker can begin attempting to shunt ships off the board at any time, kind of a victory point denial strategy. Yeah. But in this scenario, if they attempt to do so, they roll 2d6 and subtract 8 from the total. If the total is equal to or lower than the turn number, the ship successfully shunts off the table. If it's higher than the turn number, that ship loses all of its assault points and crew points.
Not all, 2.
Oh.
Is it all?
I think it's all.
Oh no, shit, all.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's bad.
So you get derelicted? Why?
Pretty much. So,
eject! We didn't move. Eject.
Yeah, that's it.
That's so
and if you roll a natural 7, you can suffer a containment rupture.
Yeah, you go kaboom, they go daisies.
Yeah, pretty much. So, shunting is, yeah, I know. Farscape kids, watch it. Yeah. Anyhow, so... Basically, whoever ends up as the attacker is essentially going to have to critically focus on trying to get their courier ships past the blockade and off the opposite table edge because there's quite a large victory point margin at stake. Essentially, plus or minus double the value of the ships.
If you roll really
right?
high at D3.
Because if you get all those ships off the table, you get double their value as the attacker. But if they get blown up, you lose double their value to your opponent. So that's where the game sort of hinges, and so the game is going to have to be really much a tactic of how to get those ships to the escort them to the other table edge.
And the thing is too, like this isn't like 40K where like if you have a guy behind something you can't really shoot him because ships in space operate on a vertical axis.
You can shoot ships behind other ships;
yeah,
they don't block line of sight or grant any save.
Cover or you're screwed. Like you can get shot.
Exactly.
Because of the vertical axis.
Yeah.
So
the other big consideration for this is that
it is hard.
The defender only has to set up 30 inches from the attacker's table edge. It puts you, it gives you the ability to start off in a much closer range band than you normally would, which can be advantageous for certain armies. Specifically, like if I was the defender, I would want to set up exactly at the 30-inch line and be like, "Come at me, bro." Yeah. So therefore, I would attempt to copulate in space with all of your ships immediately.
Exactly. We have to.
Yeah, pretty much. So we're going to roll off to see who's going to be the attacker and who's going to be the defender.
We'll set up and then
we'll set up and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more. So here we are before the start of turn 1, showing the deployments. G won the roll.
You need to talk about the Barolo first.
Oh yeah, we cracked open.
There's totally a picture of that.
Because we totally cracked open a bottle of 1999 Barolo for this game because I've just had that kind of day. I need wine.
It's a festival.
Yeah, that's right.
Of lights and sound.
Exactly. So G won the initial roll so he could choose whether to go attacker or defender.
Thank God.
And he chose to be the defender. And so you see, I chose this table edge. So he had to deploy all of his stuff first. So he deployed, you see 4 frigates, a couple of destroyers, another thing of 4 frigates, a carrier. And then over in the other corner,
cruisers, frigates. I got frigates coming out of every orifice.
Right, because you had lots of those models around. So I, on the other hand, have to deploy. He has to deploy a minimum of 30 inches from my deployment edge for this scenario.
About here. It would have been roughly here.
Right, but he doesn't want to be that close to me, so he deployed further back. Whereas I have to deploy up to 6 inches in from my edge, and so you see this is I'm kind of deployed, spread out there with my gunships in the middle as they should be, and I've marked the 4 squads with the white dice that are carrying the, because I rolled 4 on the 2d3 for the courier ships that are carrying important messages. So there's that squad of cruisers, that squad of 2 frigates, that squad of 3 cruisers, and the battleship have been chosen as my 4 squads. You see the dice that are still left out from where I marked my deployment limit.
That's a 6-inch line.
So now that we've got this set up, we're going to see if I can manage to, first of all, back the camera up. Yeah. So this should be a really interesting game because this is a really, kind of, in principle, somewhat of a difficult tactical scenario for the attacker in this particular setup. Because for every squad I lose that has the courier marker on it, he would get double the victory points for killing them. Whereas I have to try and get them off the other board edge, the one where all of his ships are. So there's going to be a bit of a challenge, but challenges are good. Let me see if I can come up with something to make this work. And if not, we'll see how it goes.
I have absolutely no idea how the hell I'm supposed to stop this shit. All I see is a lot of railguns. I'm looking down like the friggin' face of I don't even know how many railguns.
Lots
of railguns, and then broadsides now because gunships are great. They should totally be real models.
That's right. All right, so we'll come back at the end of turn 1 and see how things are going. So here we are at the conclusion of turn 1 of this game of Firestorm Armada, and we've each lost 3 frigates apiece, I believe.
Yeah.
And
the kill count is exactly 3-3.
Yep. And so you can see, I will zoom in so you can see where G's moved that unit of frigates. He moved his carrier a little bit. He deployed his wing of 7 bombers. He used his destroyers and his frigates a little bit. And you see he's got a ton of crap piled up over there. His battleship, squad of frigates. There's only 1 frigate left of that squad of 4 because I killed 3. His cruisers, On the other hand, on the other side of the table, you see I've moved up my battleship. I've basically moved everything up. I lost one squad of frigates, but that's okay. And
well, so did I. Well, not really.
Well, no, but
we lost the same amount.
Yes. So yeah, you know, not that much has happened yet because it's still early in the game.
Well, it's only one turn.
Yeah, it's only one turn, but you know, that just gives you an update on where we are at the end of turn 1, and we'll come back at the end of turn 2, and by then I'm sure a few more things will have died.
Much more interesting.
Here we are at the end of turn 2, and this game is going swimmingly. I haven't been able to roll dice to save my life, so I have managed to kill...
Nothing.
A cruiser.
Yeah, a cruiser.
And meanwhile...
it's fucking terrible. I've been picking shit off.
How many of my frigates have died?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Shit, sorry. 6, 7, 8.
Okay, so 5 frigates have died this turn, and one of my gunships is almost dead. And let's see over here. This cruiser is taking some damage. And
it's been a rough game for you overall, I think.
Yeah, overall it's been going swimmingly. I mean, I think that being the attacker in this scenario has gone really well for me so far.
No.
So we'll see what happens over the course of this next turn. I suspect this next turn is pretty much gonna largely decide what's gonna happen here.
Shit.
I think, yeah, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a disaster.
Yeah, I'm a dead man.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know, it's gonna be rough.
Yep.
It's gonna be rough going.
Alright, we'll be back after the next turn after I've died miserably.
Can't just say that.
So here we are at the end of turn 3, and lots of my stuff died and none of his did. So basically...
All your important ships are still alive.
Right, but like I've lost a ton of crap. So basically at this point I made the decision that attempting to cut and run like a bitch was pretty much my only option, because attempting to shoot at him was proving to be a completely futile effort. Yeah, so...
It was spectacularly awful.
Yeah, so pretty much at this point I'm like, I'm a run now!
The most you did was kill bombers.
Yeah, that's it. That's
and like 2 frigs.
Yeah, that's it. So we're gonna play turn 4 now and see what the hell happens. Okay, here we are at the bottom of turn 4, we think. We always lose track of what turn it is.
We should get a dice.
And some more of my stuff has died. A
lot more.
Cruisers are dead now. All my frigates are dead. So I have that one cruiser, that battleship, and where the hell are my other 3?
There.
Oh, all the way down here. And these 3, which are probably going to make it off the table. And he's still got almost everything left alive. So at this point, it's just a matter of seeing if what I can manage to get off the table before it dies, because that's going to determine who wins this, because of the way the victory points work in this particular scenario.
Yeah, it's going to come down to like...
It's actually going to be pretty close, surprisingly, because victory points in Firestorm Armada are calculated purely based on the stuff you kill, and in this scenario, I get victory points in addition for stuff I get off his board edge. But if this was done like the way it is in a lot of other game systems, where you add up the stuff that's still left alive in addition, this game would already be over. So thankfully, given the way victory points are calculated in this game, I still have a shot at redeeming something.
You're actually probably going to win.
Well, no.
Well, no, I can't kill your battleship, and I probably can't kill them. They're fine.
Well, you're going to have like 3 or 4 turns to shoot at the battleship with your entire army. It only moves 6 inches a turn, bro.
We'll see.
So here we are at the conclusion of the final turn. I managed to get these 3 cruisers off the table for the double victory points on my side. But all the cruisers that were on this side of the table died. I shunted my gunship off the table to deny victory points. And we're just calling the game because it's way too late to finish this, and he already has a 300 plus victory point lead. So G's the winner in this week's War Game Wednesday. And tune in next week for when maybe my dice won't quite be so egregious.
It's still a close game considering your dice, though.
Yeah, well.
I mean, if your dice have been like not shit,